Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. In the previous episode, we saw how Bharatha went back to Ayodhya with the Padukas and he said that he would go to Nandigrama. Everyone accepts that decision. And the next morning, he starts off to Nandigrama along with Shatrughna. He takes the Padukas with him. From Chitrakoota to Ayodhya, he brought the Padukas on his head and he was seated on a big elephant. Now in the Radha also, he took the Padukas and he orders that the way a king could be treated, the Paduka should be treated that way. So he gets the white umbrella and he also gets all the Rajalanchanas to follow. And with that, Bharata enters Nandigrama with these Padukas. By Bharata's request, Vasishtha and other Mahamunis already would have come there. Now Bharata brings up a nice Simhasana, puts the Padukas on it, does the Rajyabhisheka for them, and he sits there on a daily basis. Whatever was happening in the kingdom, he goes to those Padukas and he informs those Padukas about those doings, and he feels as if SriRamaChandra has given him the order to do it and does the proper activity that a king should be doing. And he always says Sri Rama has kept this kingdom as nyasa with me, means I am holding something that does not belong to me, that's something that I should give back. And he tells Vasishtha Mahamuni and others also that the day when Sri Ramachandra comes, I'll give these Padukas back to him and I'll see him wearing these Padukas, and then I will walk behind him and I'll serve him like a Sishya serves the Guru. That way, Bharata stayed back in Nandigrama, and from there only he started ruling the entire kingdom. And he was ruling as a person who is just going to give the entire kingdom back to Sri Ramachandra. Now, let's move back to Chitrakoota. In Chitrakoota, one day, Sri Ramachandra sees that all the rishis and the head of all those rishis, the Kulapati over there, they were discussing a lot of things, and they were discussing in hushed tones. And by their demeanor, Sri Ramachandra realizes that they want to leave that place. So Sri Ramachandra quickly goes to the Kulapati and asks, "Oh Kulapati, what has happened? Did I do anything that's against dharma? By looking at you, I understand you are in some sort of trouble. What has happened to you?" That Kulapati then looks back at Sri Ramachandra and says, "How can you go away from dharma? How can Sitama go away from dharma? No, you both are in dharma only. Whatever you are doing is a very, very dharmic activity. However, there is a trouble that I am going through, and my trouble, O Sri Ramachandra, is this. There is this Ravana, and he has brothers like Khara, Doshana, and all. From the moment you came here, those people started coming over here, and they are troubling all my men, all the rishis and munis who are in these ashramas. They are not letting us do our yajnas. They are breaking our kalashas. They are not letting us sit in dhyana. They are not letting us do our pujas. Hence, I think it's the best interest for all of us to move away from here. This is the trouble that has come on us, and this trouble has started after you have come. So they somehow are not happy that you have come here. Hence, we are all leaving this place. Now, Sri Ramachandra tries very hard to convince them, but they say that they are going to a new place from there, which is called as Chitravana, where they have a very, very old ashrama, and which offers them a lot of solace and a lot of protection from these raiding Rakshasas. Hence, they wish to go there. Sri Ramachandra doesn't have an option but to finally agree, and this Kulapati, along with all those munis, leaves that place and goes to that Prachina ashrama. Once they have left, Sri Ramachandra keeps thinking about Bharata, looks at the surroundings, and one day he realizes that the entire place over there was disturbed. The scenic beauty was disturbed because of this entire crowd that came in. And since that all disturbed, he feels that he should leave that place. He convinces Sitama and Lakshmana to leave the place, and so all three of them, they again start from there, and now they move to the ashrama of Atri Mahamuni. Atri Mahamuni is one of the Saptarshis. He is not a normal person. He is considered one of the greatest, all-time greatest of all rishis. And if you remember Valmiki Vrittanta, we saw Atri Maharshi there also. So Sri Ramachandra now starts moving towards Atri Mahamuni's ashrama, and finally he reaches that ashrama, and there he goes and bows down to Atri Mahamuni. Atri Mahamuni immediately gives him Atithya, and And he also makes Lakshmana and Sitama very happy with the Atithya. Atithya is giving them water, giving them food and all, giving them a nice place to sit and all. And then he looks at Sitama and he invites his wife Anasuyama to that place, and he calls her in a very, very respectful tone. So she comes out, and he talks about her to SriRamaChandra and Lakshmana, and then he looks at Anasuya and says, take her inside and talk. And he looks at SriRamaChandra. SriRamaChandra then tells Sitama, please go inside along with Anasuya Devi. She is a great Pativrata, so please go along with her. And he talks about Anasuya's greatness just before they leave. So just before Sitama and Anasuya are going to leave inside, Atri Mahamuni talks about the greatness. So he says, oh Sri Rama, Anasuya Ma, she is a great lady. Once for 10 years there were no rains. The whole world was burning, and she then created a lot of kandamulas, and she created a lot of fruits, and she ensured that Ganga is flowing. She did all this with her tapashakti. And Anasuya Ma has done tapashakti for 10,000 years by now. She, with her power, made 10 days into a single night. Hence, O Sri Ramachandra, don't be afraid. You can send your wife along with my very, very old wife, Anasuya. Sri Ramachandra says, please go inside along with Anasuya Ma. Sita Ma then does a production of Anasuya, and they both go inside. And then Anasuya Ma, she starts asking these questions to Sita. First, Sita actually asks her, are you healthy and all? Anasuya Ma says, I'm so happy that you are following Dharma, and this is a great bhagya for all of us that you are following Dharma. You have left your ego, you have left all the wealth, and still you are walking behind Sri Ramachandra. This is your bhagya, O Sita. As long as a woman follows her man, even if he is going to forests, that woman would always get great lokas in her afterlife. And O Sita, how much ever I think, I am not seeing a better relative than husband for a woman. These are Anasuyama's words. She's saying many women become slaves of Kama, and from there they start showing off, or they start dominating their husbands, and from there they somehow lose the viveka to discriminate between good and bad. Thus, many women are getting bad name in this world. These are all what Anasuyama is saying. Women like you who follow their husbands, even when the husband is going through a lot of trouble, they always go and achieve great good lokas, great punya lokas. Hence, O Sita, you always follow your husband and follow the path of pativratas, and you always be the sahadharmacharini for your husband. Because of this, you will get a lot of yashas, means a lot of good name in the world, and you also get a lot of dharma, a lot of punya because of it. And then Sita Ma now responds back to Anasuya Ma, and she says, oh Anasuya Ma, even I know that the husband is a person who needs to be respected. He is a puja. Even if the husband is having a lot of trouble, even then you have to follow the husband. And you know what my husband is? My husband, the way he treats his mom, he treats all other wives of Dasharatha also like that. And he always respected every woman. I mean, we read about those 350 women there, right? Every woman of Dasharatha Maharaja was respected by Sri Ramachandra like his mother. And oh Anasuyama, when I was coming to this forest, my mother-in-law told me some important things. I'm remembering them even today. At the time of my marriage, then also my mother was telling me important things about husband-wife relationship, and I am still remembering all those. And then she quotes the example of Savitri Ma, and she also says that there is no new tapasya for a woman than serving her husband. And she quotes the example of Rohini and Chandra, and then she says a lot of women did the Sisrusha for their husbands and have attained great lokas. And so I know all those stories. And saying this, she stops. Then Anasuyama kisses Sitama on her forehead, and she says, oh Sita, I have a lot of tapashakti with me, whatever you said made me very, very happy. Ask for anything, O Sita, and I'm going to give it to you. And Sita Ma says, I have everything. You have given me your blessings. That's more than enough for me. Then Anasuyama becomes extremely happy, and then she gives her Angaragas. She gives her some cosmetic products, and she says, if you put these Angaragas on you, your body parts will glow, and the way Lakshmi Devi adds beauty to Sri Mahavishnu, you will also add beauty to your husband. So Anasuyama gives a few clothes and those cosmetics and a few ornaments and a few garlands also. Sita would take all of them, and then she starts doing the seva of Anasuya Mata. Then Anasuya Mata asks her next question. She says, Oh Sita, I heard that SriRamaChandra married you in a Swayamvara. Won't you tell me about your Swayamvara, Sita? Then Sita Ma proceeds to tell about her Swayamvara. Well, what Sita Ma says about her Swayamvara, that we would see in our next episode. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet, sarvam satgri sai samhara swam charanaravindarpamastu. Swasti. Jai Shri Ram.